14.7 trillion naira by the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
You're welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I am Nicholas Akosile.
And I am Belis Quetta.
And here is the news making the rounds. I am not contesting for the office of the presidency of Nigeria, Apostle Suleiman.
Celebration TV launches on Sky TV channel 598.
From the foreign scene, Pompeo says killing of Suleiman is part of bigger strategy to deter U.S. foes.
On business news, President Buhari signs finance bill into law.
And on sports, Dangote renews bid to acquire Arsenal. Please stay with us as we'll bring you the details of that news after the short break. Thanks for joining us once again. Welcome back. Now the news in details. Celebration TV launches on Sky TV channel 598. Residents of the United Kingdom who have been asking for a more easier platform to connecting with the rich programs of Celebration TV may have finally laid their worry to rest as the station announces the launch of its Sky television channel. This announcement was made by the CEO of the channel, Apostle Professor Johnson Suleiman, on his official Twitter handle Monday 13th January 2020. He stated that Celebration TV is now showing on Sky Channel 50, Channel 598. Lovers of the channel in UK and Europe can now watch. This announcement is coming weeks after the station declared its intention to open network stations in different continents of the world so as to continue to provide access to quality content, inspirational entertainment, and consistent value to the world. Celebration TV is arguably one of the fastest growing Christian TV channels in the world. Established in 2013, the station boasts of reaching over 100 million persons weekly through all its platforms, with the gospel of Jesus interpreted through various contents and sold to its audience from around the globe. With its launch on Sky TV channel 598, those in the UK, Germany, Italy, Spain, Ireland, Austria, Switzerland, and other parts of Europe can now watch it conveniently without hassles. The station's headquarters is in Auchi, Edo State, Nigeria. Congratulations to the management, staff, and followers of the channel. Breaking new grounds is now a culture.
Still from the local scene, 29 ordained in Oakland by Apostle Suleiman. The senior pastor of Omega Farm Ministries International had his first Greater Works Crusade of the year in Oakland, California, as the people's expectations were met following with signs and wonders. The gathering, which made rounds, had in attendance thousands of attendees with hunger for the word, and he was in no way hesitant being used by God, bringing the undiluted word of hope to the people in a manner to reshapen and redirect their lives. Having taken his anchor text from Judges chapter 12, verse number 3, he charged the crowd to take their lives in their hands, and that how they handle the year at this early stage will determine what the year produces for them. In furtherance of the gospel and the maintenance of this cause, the senior pastor of Omega Fire Ministries International on Wednesday, 8th January 2020, ordained 29 persons into a call to devotion without spots or wrinkles, who by the Spirit sees them to also run with the vision of the mandate. The apostle defined ordination as a physical attestation to a spiritual God. While emphasizing on what the ordained are called to do in their various capacities, he kicked against pride and rebellion. Meanwhile, 19 pastors, 5 assistant pastors, 2 deaconesses, 1 deacon, and 2 elders were ordained.
We need to understand the significance of ordination. Ordination is a physical attestation to a spiritual call. One of the problems we have today is that many people have started running a race without any approval, and at the end of the day you end up running in vain. I'm saying this to you as we had to ordain over 300 pastors in December, and I told them 4 things. Number 1, I'm ordaining you by the Spirit of God, and when you become rebellious, I would disordain you. I want you to know that ordination is not for life. When you become rebellious or you become arrogant, the higher you go in the kingdom, the more humble you should become. When I see people who are great, the first thing I look for is humility. Arrogance and pride stinks. When you see people who are arrogant and proud, you just get put off. You need to know that this is serious. Number 2, ordination is a call to devotion. If you were loyal before, now it has to be without spot, without blemish. Number 3, you need to understand what this work stands for and begin to run with it. Because now that this anointing of God has come upon you, there are certain things that will just happen naturally. You won't have to struggle. Why? Because now there is a seal. The same unction, the same grace, the same impartation will take place in your life. And number 4, don't you ever forget this. At the end of this whole thing on earth, heaven is important. You need to have that at the back of your mind. Go on your knees. Let me pray with you.
Oakland was indeed endued with greater works. The man of God is currently in Munich, Germany, fulfilling scriptures of taking the gospel to the ends of the earth.
Moving forward, I am not contesting for the office of the presidency of Nigeria, Apostle Suleiman. In a swift reaction to news making rounds on social media, the senior pastor of Omega Fire Ministries International, Apostle Johnson Suleiman, has said that the rumors of him being interested to leading the nation as a president is not only funny, but unthinkable. The man of God made this known to newsmen from Celebration TV who had approached him to confirm the news that broke out on social media some days earlier. Speaking through his media aide, he said that God has given him a voice and a platform to continue to mold the nation into the right direction by consistently speaking what is right and supporting any person whose interest is in the overall good of the land. The man of God, however, confirmed that many persons have been reaching out to him about the office due to his sterling leadership qualities and his continuous stand for what is ideal, even alone in most times. He said that the office of a nation's prophet, which God has committed to his hand, is enough for him. He urged well-meaning Nigerians interested in politics to take it up and get into the game, shunning the popular mantra that politics is a dirty game, that clean men should get in and clean it up. On Thursday, 9th January 2020, social media was agog with news of a purported presidential aspiration of the clergy. The news also named Dr. Ahmad Abubakar Gumi as his running mate for the 2023 presidential bid. The media aide, however, added that the man of God will not relent in his effort to speak for the body of Christ at all times and urged Christians to use every means available to them to do same. It will be recalled that the man of God has been persecuted with various governmental tools and strategies because of his continuous stand against governments at all levels, especially at the times the church in Nigeria has been undertaken, and the government seem to have paid definite attention.
And lastly from the local scene, police NSCDC increased security around US and UK embassies. The police and Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps have tightened security around the United States Embassy and British High Commission in Abuja in response to fears they could be targeted by groups sympathetic to Iran in retaliation for the killing of its most powerful military commander, Qasem Soleimani. The head of Iran's powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps was killed in a U.S. drone strike near Baghdad airport on January 3rd. This killing sparked tension between the two countries, with Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei vowing his country would revenge the attack. Iran on Wednesday launched a ballistic missile attack on two U.S. air bases in Iraq housing American troops. Security forces have formed a cordon to prevent any attack on the U.S. and UK missions, which shared boundaries since Soleimani was killed, along with Iraqi paramilitary chief Abu Mahdi al-Muhammadis in the Baghdad airstrike. Additional police officers and the NSCDC officers were seen around the two missions on Monday, with police trucks stationed around the buildings. It was observed that the road beside the British High Commission was partially blocked with a police truck. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, placed police commands and formations nationwide on high alert following intelligence report that some domestic interests were planning to embark on massive public disturbances and sabotage to protest Soleimani's killing. He also directed them to beef up security around embassies. The US and UK subsequently told their nationals in Nigeria to be security conscious, advising them to avoid crowds and demonstrations which they said could turn violent. Now, coming up next is news from the foreign scene. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Excitement that gets you asking for more. We bring you the kind of dimension that can't be ignored. Watch Celebration TV on Sky Channel 520 as we take the gospel to leaps and bounds. To build spiritual capacity, enhance moral standards, and make your life better. Celebration TV on Sky Channel 520 also brings to your viewing pleasure Christaholic, Couples Timeout, New Anointing, Voice of Fire. Enjoy Sports Corner on Celebration Television News Desk and lots more. Celebration TV, revealing Jesus, releasing Destinies.
Yes, you're welcome back, and thanks for joining us once again. Here is the news from the foreign scene. Warren says Sanders told her no woman could beat Trump in 2020. Elizabeth Warren has said Bernie Sanders told her during a private meeting that he did not believe a woman could beat Donald Trump in 2020, a version of the event that Sanders vehemently denies. In a statement issued on Monday evening, Warren offered her recollections of their conversation, a one-on-one discussion which took place in Washington at the end of 2018 when each senator was laying the groundwork for a presidential run. Among the topics that came up was what would happen if Democrats nominated a female candidate. Warren said in a statement Monday evening detailing her account of a meeting. "I thought a woman could win." He disagreed. "I have no interest in discussing this private meeting any further because Bernie and I have far more in common than our differences on punditry." The back and forth represents a dramatic break for the leading progressive presidential hopefuls after a month-long truce. The escalating bitterness comes at a pivotal moment for both candidates, just 3 weeks before voting begins in Iowa and a day before Tuesday's Democratic debates in Des Moines. At the debate, the candidates will almost certainly be asked to clarify their different interpretations of the meeting.
And now still from the foreign scene, Pompeo says killing of Suleiman is part of bigger strategy to deter U.S. foes. The U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has said Qasem Soleimani was killed as part of a broader strategy to deterring challenges by U.S. foes that also applies to China and Russia, further diluting their assertion that the senior Iranian general was targeted because he was plotting imminent attacks on U.S. assets. In a speech at Stanford University's Hoover Institute, Pompeo made no mentions of the threats of imminent attacks planned by Soleimani. It only was in response to a question that he repeated his earlier assertion that preempting such plots was the reason for the January 3rd U.S. drone strike on Iran's second most powerful official. His speech, The Restoration of Deterrence, the Iranian example focused on what he called a Trump administration strategy to establish real deterrence against Iran following earlier Republican and Democratic policies that encouraged Tehran's malign activity. Democratic and some Republican lawmakers have challenged the administrations over self-defense rationale supported by undisclosed intelligence over imminent attacks. U.S. President Donald Trump has said the potential targets included 4 U.S. embassies. On Sunday, the Defense Secretary Mark Esper said he has seen no intelligence forewarning of imminent attacks on embassies. Trump on Monday added new fuel to the controversy by saying it really doesn't matter whether Soleimani posed an imminent threat. Pompeo said there was a bigger strategy behind the killing of Soleimani, the commander of the Al-Quds, Iran's elite foreign espionage and paramilitary force. Now coming up is news from the world of business. Don't go anywhere, we are coming back.
You're welcome to Business News. President Buhari signed finance bill into law. President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the finance bill into law. In a short thread on his verified Twitter handle, Buhari noted that this is the first time since the return of democracy in 1999 that a federal budget is being accompanied by the passage of a finance bill. Buhari said he is pleased to announce that this morning he signed into law the Finance Bill 2019. We introduced the bill alongside 2020 budget to reform Nigeria's tax laws to align with global best practices, support MSMEs in line with our ease of doing business reforms. Incentives investments in infrastructure and capital markets raise government's revenue. This is the first time since the return of democracy in 1999 that a federal budget is being accompanied by the passage of a finance bill, especially designed to support its implementation and to create a true enabling environment for businesses and investments by the private sector. Buhari, in a tweet, thanked the leadership and members of the 9th National Assembly for the hard work and support that have gone into the passage of the landmark Deep Offshore and Inland Basin PSC Amendment Bill and the Finance Bill, both vital to the successful implementation of the 2020 budget.
And now, still on the business news, Customs shortlist 162,399 candidates for aptitude test. The Nigeria Customs Service has shortlisted a total of 162,399 candidates for aptitude test in its recruitment exercise, which began in 2019. The 162,399 candidates were selected out of the 828,333 candidates that applied to be recruited into the service. The 162,399 candidates represent about 19.6% of the total number that applied for the recruitment exercise. The Public Relations Officer, NCS, Mr. Joseph Atta, confirmed the development in a statement issued on Monday in Abuja. Atta, in a statement, said that the candidates were selected after a painstaking shortlisting process by the service. The statement stated that the Controller General of Customs, Colonel Hamid Ali, retired, had given assurance of his determination to preside over a recruitment process that would be credible, transparent, and smooth. It said despite the disturbing attempt by internet fraudsters to hack into their website and discredit the recruitment process, the service was committed to ensuring that the recruitment exercise was conducted in a transparent manner. The statement read in parts, after a painstaking process, a total of 162,399 candidates have been shortlisted out of 828,333 candidates that applied. In line with earlier stated guidelines, those shortlisted are being notified via their email addresses and telephone numbers. For the avoidance of doubt, the NCS recruitment process requires no monetary payment, hence any such request for any quarter should be regarded as fraudulent and ignored. It added that the candidates were to be in their best behaviors and comply with all instructions during the aptitude test, as doing the contrary could lead to instant disqualification. And coming up next now is news from the world of sports. Don't go anywhere. We are coming back.
Years comes and goes, flowers and plants wither and dies, but God's faithfulness remaineth. This is how far God has taken us. Come enjoy this surge of excitement as we celebrate Ebenezer 2020, February.
All right, thanks for joining us on Sports News. Dangote renews bid to acquire Arsenal. Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, has again renewed his bid to acquire English Premier League side Arsenal when he's done with his present projects. Dangote, who was speaking in a Charlton David Rubenstein show on Bloomberg, said he intended to take Arsenal to the next level. The billionaire, who is presently constructing a refinery in Lekki, Lagos State, is aiming to buy the North London side in 2011. Dangote said it is a team that he would like to buy someday, but they have $20 billion worth of projects, and that's what he really wants to concentrate on for now. He said he is trying to finish building the company, then maybe sometime in 2021 he can buy Arsenal when he finish all these projects, because he's trying to take the company to the next level. Dangote had first declared his intention to buy Arsenal in 2015. Arsenal is presently owned by American billionaire Stan Kroenke.
And now in another sports news, Barcelona sacked Valverde and appoints Setien. Barcelona have sacked coach Ernesto Valverde and replaced him with the former Real Betis coach Quique Setien. Valverde, 55 years, helped the club to two successive La Liga titles, and they led the league on goal differences. However, the Catalan side have produced a series of unconvincing displays under his leadership and have failed to reach the Champions League final. Setien, who is 61 years of age, led the Betis to their highest finish since 2005 and to the Copa del Rey semis before leaving in May. He has agreed to a 2.5-year deal and will be presented to the media at 1:30 p.m. GMT on Tuesday. In a statement, Barca said they have reached an agreement with Valverde to terminate his contract and thanked him for his professionalism, his commitment, his dedication, and his always positive treatment towards all that make up the Barca family. Valverde was under pressure towards the end of last season following the ignominious Champions League semi-final defeat by Liverpool, having led 3-0 after the first leg, and the Copa del Rey final loss to Valencia.
And lastly, on sports, Messi wants Aguero at Barca. Lionel Messi has allegedly requested that Barcelona make an approach for Manchester City forward Sergio Aguero. While Luis Suarez has been ruled out until May with a knee injury, the Uruguay international is expected to depart Camp Nou in the summer, leaving the Catalan Giants to find a replacement. Speculation persists regarding a move for Carlos Vela, who could be brought into the fold for the second half of the campaign. However, according to reports in Spain, Messi wants the La Liga leaders to sign Argentine compatriot Aguero during the summer transfer window.
And that's the size of the news for us on Celebration Television today. And if you're just joining us, here is a recap of the news making the headlines. I am not contesting for the office of the presidency of Nigeria, says Apostle Suleiman.
Celebration TV launches on Sky TV channel 598.
And from the foreign scene, Pompeo says killing of Suleiman is part of bigger strategy to deter U.S. foes.
And on business, President Buhari signed finance bill into law.
And on sports, Dangote renews bid to acquire Arsenal.
And that's been the size of the news on Celebration Television News Desk. And in case you're just joining us, and in case you want to follow us on our social media page, you can follow us on Facebook, Celebration TV.
On Instagram, My Celebration TV.
On Twitter, at My Celebration TV.
And on YouTube, www.youtube.com/Celebration TV.
Thank you once again for watching. God bless you. I am Nicholas Akosele.
And I am Belis Quetta. Thank you.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun